everyone. Good morning. I am going to stream us in to Facebook. Good morning, Amber. I thought of you. I'm so glad you're here because I had more answers. Good morning, everyone. Let me get us streaming in and then I'll be right back with you. Some of you that are in the room while I'm streaming, I'd love to know just anything that came up quickly from yesterday. Did any of you get text messages back from the people that you messaged, or someone want to share while I'm streaming us? Let's see. Next. I don't have permission to post in there. Okay, so I'm going to let the stream go so we can be with everyone who's here. We'll come back to that. Hi, Marianne. Hi. All right, Michelle's coming in. I'm going to make sure Marie is good. And you know what happened this morning that was funny? I put my phone in a weird spot and then I turned my Garmin watch on to find it. So it was binging and I couldn't figure out how to turn the bing off, which is why I let you all in the room a little bit late. It was just going ding, ding, ding. I finally just figured it out. But okay, perfect. So Marie should be here any moment. She is here. Wonderful. Susan, Karen, Marie's beautiful shirt matches Marianne's background, kind of, that picture. Hello, lovely.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so we'll get this live stream going in just a little bit, but I want to first thank everyone who's here, but specifically you, Marie, for being with us today. I'm really excited to ask you some questions about manifesting, the importance of beauty in our lives, and in manifesting, how we manifest beauty, body, love, all the things. I know it's one core process. So for those of you that don't know, Marie Diamond was in the movie The Secret. That's where I first discovered Marie. And it's been doing so much work. I have your Feng Shui app from when we were at the Beyond the Secret movie premiere with Dennis. We were talking about your app and I used it and went in my room and resituated some pictures in my house. So I'm really excited to dive in with you. What we'll do is I'll ask some questions and then we'll reserve a little time at the end for people who are here in the room that want to ask questions. Those of you that are here, turn on your cameras. It's way more fun and valuable for Marie when she can see you and when we can see you. But what time is it there?
It's a 6 o'clock evening time, so 6 p.m.
All right. Hi. And where are you exactly?
I'm not in Mount Fuji in Japan, but I'm in the south of France, in between Nice and Monaco. So I'm actually looking at the Mediterranean when I look out of the window. So.
You know what I want to know, because I've heard so much about your clients. Like I loved the story in The Secret of the guy who really wanted to have more dating in his life, and he had all of the women painted, this solo cold shoulder woman all over his house. So you had him paint himself with surrounded by women. Then he's suddenly dating all these quality women, right? And then he wanted his one woman, and so he went to couples and happily married. So I've heard so many stories about how you've helped clients. I want to start with, in your own life, I want to hear some of the manifestations or how you got started with all this work in yourself, and we can talk about clients too.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I practiced what I'm teaching, of course, and just a really fun story. So I moved to America when I was about 38, and I created my vision board. And I put on my vision board all kinds of, post-it notes. Yeah. And on one of my post-it notes, because I was living in San Francisco, and I thought like, hey, this is so close to Hollywood. I mean, I'm from Belgium originally, so it was already closer to Hollywood, right? And so I put on a little note and said, I'm going to be in a movie seen by millions of people that will transform the world. So I put that on my vision board, right? And then I thought like, well, feng shui wise, we like to work with objects that represent your goals. So I bought myself a fake Oscar statue and put my name on it, Marie Diamond, and then the year. And I was 2002 at that time. So I thought like, well, I need 3-4 years. So I put 2006 on it. And I put it in my success direction. And from the app, there is a success direction for everyone based on their birthday. And for me, it's Southwest. So I put it in the Southwest section of my office. And every day I would look at my vision board. A vision board is not something that I just hang there. I go and look at it. I read what I've been putting on, and I'm kind of blessing it, and I'm visualizing it. And then had my little Oscar, and I was kind of, hey, Oscar, how are you? So the first thing that starts happening by doing this, by activating my vision board, was I attracted my first Oscar winning client within a month. They just called me out of the blue. I still don't know where they got me from. And within 2 weeks, that I put out on my vision board, I actually, one of the other teachers in The Secret, Marcy Scheimoff, became my student and my client. And she opened the doors to people like John Gray, Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor. And before the year was over, I was actually mentoring them and consulting them spiritually and energetically. And so that is where Jack Canfield ultimately asked me to be part of the Transformation Leadership Council, where like at the beginning, 30 of the top transformational authors were invited in his living room to start like a mastermind group. And he invited me because he said, I want this to be global, and you're the only European I know at this point. And so I was not known at all. I mean, I had not written any book in America. I mean, perhaps 200 people knew about me. That was it, right? I just had high-end clients. And so the third time we came together with the Transformation Leadership Council, that is where I was asked to do an interview for The Secret and got me in the movie. And so that came out in 2006. So that was like exactly like I programmed. Since then, I have more than 20 award-winning, Oscar-winning actually clients. And so it started from me practicing my own law of attraction to be in a movie seen by millions of people. And indeed, that is what The Secret has done.
I've not heard this story because you are so wonderful about making it about other people and other people's stories and what's come alive for them. So I'm just feeling so full of gratitude and love and like inspired by that amazing story. And I love that you weren't even known. There were several things that you said right there. One, that you don't just do the vision board and hang it somewhere or forget about it, but you go be with it every day. Look at it. Look what's on there. You bless it. So you re-participate in what's happening. I also like that you made a physical object that represented something connected to your vision, and that the year the year came in, and the universe is funny that you didn't necessarily win the Oscar. However, you have now over 20 clients that have won Oscars, and you were part of a movie that is still impacting people, millions upon millions. That is just so wild. So are you disappointed that you didn't win an Oscar?
Well, I'm still able to win an Oscar, right?
There
So
we go.
we have different projects in place right now, and I'm more and more in the movie and the TV world as a producer. So that can still happen. Actually, now my Oscar is still out, but because I put in Marie Diamond 2006, I did not know in which form I would connect in with the Oscar energy, right? So I didn't never anticipate it would be as myself.
Okay, got it. Well, so you still got the specificity. I was really joking, I was really joking, but
No, 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 no. But the point is, I put now an Oscar statue out with Marie Diamond producer. Yeah, so because I don't see myself as an actress, right? So I just always myself. So I'm not playing a role, right? But hey, why not becoming a producer, an award-winning producer? Why not, right?
Why not? I love it. I love it. So when it comes to beauty in our lives, because this particular series I focused on nurture your beauty, your body, and your business in the Rich Queen Manifesting series, where and how does beauty play a part in our lives, or why is it good for us to make space for it?
Well, for me, beauty is everything around me. Like I love in the morning going out and smell the roses in my garden. And as I'm living in a warm climate, we have a lot of the year roses and seeing the beauty of nature. But as a feng shui master, we also want to bring in the beauty inside our home. And so we do that specifically with colors. So I work with 24 colors, and it's really interesting. A lot of the colors I'm wearing right now that I'm playing with. And so sometimes I come in their houses and it's too blank. It's too, it's not uplifting enough. And to know that every color is representing part of the beauty of our soul, part of the beauty of nature. And so every color has a certain meaning, a meaning of energy and a frequency. And so sometimes I have to say to people, guys, just we need some more energy here, more beautiful energy here. And so sometimes I feel the beauty is that there needs to be a beauty of the heart, beauty of joy. Then I always ask them to add orange, to their environment, orange pillows. Sometimes they need the beauty of love, right? And then I will always ask to work with pinks and roses. But sometimes they want the beauty of success, because in business, the beauty is success, it's abundance. And then you want to work with kind of blues like what I have here on. All these kind of blues are really good to put around you, to even wear these colors. And of course, the most beautiful color of success is gold. Yeah. So when you have things around you that are gold looking, that really activates. So it actually, we see sometimes too much things in black and white. Yeah. And it's like it's either or, but there's a whole range of energy and beauty in the colors that we just need to embrace and even wear. Sometimes we are wearing not enough the colors that are in nature. And so we need to embrace all that. And that's, for me, colors are totally the beauty of the soul.
That's awesome. So they hold a frequency connected to our soul, is what you're saying.
Yes.
And that whenever you go into your home or you go into a client's home and you see maybe it's too bland or they're focused on a certain goal, depending on what that is, you begin to place things in the home that match the colors that represent and emanate that frequency. So they get to be immersed in it, and also wearing the colors is important to, and
Correct.
blue, I didn't know blue. I thought you were going to say green with success or something like that. So I didn't know. And blue, I've always associated with communication, right? So I didn't know it was associated with success and abundance in
Well,
business. And
it's about power and empowerment. So think about, if you look at business people, they will not wear a green suit. They will wear blue suits, right? So, or a blue tie. So it shows power and confidence. And of course, business people are good communicators, right? Because they're creative in their business deals, right? So, but it's actually, especially the royal blue, it stands for the power of creation. And so, if we use more that color and the specific areas in the house that literally can be activated with colors, and based on your birthday, and so people, if they want to know what these colors are, they can actually go to the website maridamit.com and get your free energy report. And you will get you have to put in your birthday and your birth gender, and you will get a report. And in that report, it will actually teach you, where's your success direction, but also what are the color that is always good to put in your success direction. Yeah. The green, for example, is more about healing and well-being. And that's why when you think about, when you go into a place for healers, hospitals, they will wear a lot that healing color green. Yeah. So it is still beauty, but beauty of the body.
That's beautiful. I have a few big questions will keep coming, Marie. But I have a question about, yesterday we had an awesome expert on, Chris, who talked about healing and dealing with codependency in himself, and then the freedom that he got. So as someone who, it was part of the movie The Secret, and a lot of that movie is all about visualizing the positive and where you're going and the vision. Where do you, in your opinion, in your practice, where is the place for healing childhood traumas or old subconscious patterns? And how do you balance, feeling to heal, looking at it, but not getting too stuck in it with forward movement?
Yeah. Well, when we look at our lives, we're always living in the present moment, here and now, right? And when the law of attraction is all about creating your future, but you have to understand you can still take with you from the past, right? Past experiences, ancestral experiences, past lives, even traumas that you went through, programming, judgments you have allowed. If you take that with you, and it's always with you here and now, because you come from that area, but if you take that with you to the future, you will have more of the problems that you have experienced in the past. So it is very important to not just visualize, but also to clear the blockages in your mind, in your heart, in your body. So it's all about letting that go, forgiving this, clearing this. And so it is definitely part of the good flow of manifesting your success in the future. So, I mean, I could not have manifested everything I have created if I did not allow to clear and to heal the situations that happened in the past, especially in my childhood. I had to really go back and create a happy inner child. Yeah, because ultimately the visualization level is always connected with your inner child. So if your inner child is sad and is upset, how can that visualization power be with joy and with good energy? Because we are actually visualizing from that wonderful inner child energy that we have. But if that is not happy and joyful, then it's very hard to manifest the future in a different way.
This is so powerful. I'm so glad to hear your opinion about it or your experience with it, because I remember early in 2004, 2005, when I was first discovering, even 2002, the law of attraction and some of these things, that if I started to feel something negative, I would just think, that's not the right thing. Focus over here, push, 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 push. But it, like you said, there were certain parts that needed me to stop, to listen, to hear. And it took me a while, and I still am learning the balance, even this many years later, of, okay, because, I'm clear that I don't want to go and just give that so much energy that I'm carrying it as an excuse or a story or into my future, right? But at the same time, like you said, doing the work to really, in a safe environment with people that hold you high, holding that inner child, and listening and bringing it back, integrating the lessons, bringing it back to joy. And I also love that you said that from that joyful child is our power to visualize, and that you wouldn't have been able to manifest so much if you didn't. It's not that you ignored your child or ignored the past and only focused on a beautiful future. You did a lot of that, but you really spent some time acknowledging and bringing your inner child to a happy place so that she can be free
Yeah.
to visualize the future.
Yeah, that's so right on. And so it's still a practice I do every day. And my students, they all do what we call the tubes of light meditation, where we every day we connect with our power, we connect with our gratitude, but every day we are letting go of something conscious or subconscious. We are not always clear about that, a judgment or anything we're holding on, by forgiving ourselves, forgiving what has occurred in our lives. So it is still a daily practice, a practice I started when I was 7 years old, and we're 50 years later. So I still do that practice, because there's so many things we don't even can put our finger on, right? There's so many things we don't even remember. Perhaps, thank God, we don't. But the whole point is, we need to keep forgiving, we need to keep releasing and keeping letting go. And so that's where the freedom is. I mean, I had a quite abusive childhood, emotionally and physically, with my father. And so on his deathbed, the night before he passed on, I really knew that was the last night I was able to forgive him. Yeah. And I chose to forgive him completely for whatever had happened in my life with him. The things I remember, the things I didn't even remember. And there were things that only later I remembered back, because I was putting it down so deeply what had happened. But I also chose that moment, to see the inner child in him, to see that innocent part in him that I'm sure did not ever wanted to have this happen in his life, what he did to me and to others. So I know, from me, by choosing the joy and returning back to the joy and to the love, and to forgive that whole experience, I would not have become who I am now if I would not have done that.
Wow, really very, very powerful and important work. And I love that you shared that it's a daily practice, because we can often think, get to a really great cozy spot and years of work that you feel masterful in some ways, and then of course life is happening. And I remember in my early 20s, every time one of those things would happen, I would feel like, oh man, I'm not ready to go out there and serve people. I got to go get myself together, I'm still. But learning that, hey, like our friend Dennis Waitley, even at 88, he's doing the practices, right? So realizing that these things are lifestyle, it's not one and done. Some people think, oh, I've done all the forgiveness work, but I love that you said, hey, there's stuff you thankfully probably don't remember. So just, let it go. So anybody on this call or watching the replay right now, I just want to invite you to put your hand on your heart, and with Marie, just to say, hey, I'm willing to let go of anything that I'm holding, that is a grudge, that is unforgiveness, that is blocking me, that is clouding me, known or unknown. I'm willing to release that now and to allow myself love, peace, harmony. What color should we visualize, Marie?
Violet. Violet is the color for forgiveness and letting go, because it's the highest frequency and it lets go of all the density you've ever created.
Violet. Yum. I feel that in my heart. It immediately shifted the feeling of it. So thank you for that. I had another question. So before you became this star in the movie The Secret, and you said like 200 people maybe knew you, and you were just working with high-end clients. I think I'd love to know a little bit about that, because over the years I've worked with a lot of healers, and they're offering their services, and whenever they're going to stretch to charge more for their services, it's like, oh, but I'm just doing emotional healing for them. I'm not doing business services. Oh, I'm just doing a meditation with them. I'm not a Reiki or, sound bowl healing. So can you speak to how were you able, as someone who wasn't known, you said maybe 200 people knew you. Do you have some tips for how to really feel comfortable, confident in that space?
Yes, of course. From background, I'm a lawyer, right? So I was working in the governmental departments as a lawyer. And so I got, monthly a paycheck, right? So I didn't come from a background of entrepreneurs. Nobody I knew had any entrepreneurship skill. And so it was quite interesting. And so when I started doing this work, of coaching people or looking at their energy, or I would say people, or just if they say, how do I value you? I would say, give whatever you want. I mean, because I did not value that. I thought it was so natural. It's so easy what I do. I didn't see the value in it, right? And so till the day that one of my clients gave me, she said, well, I just went to the shop and I just bought a kilo of coffee beans. I'm paying you with coffee beans. And I was so pissed off, to be honest, because I was really first of all, I'm allergic to coffee. So I never in my life drink coffee. So I was like, I even get a gift and I can't even use it, right? My husband will benefit from it. And then afterwards he said, this is really awful coffee. So it was like on all levels, it was the wrong value. And then I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to charge something. And I asked at that time 50 Belgian francs, what is literally at this point $1, right? It was a $1 thing. That's the value of 50 Belgian francs at that time. So I was like, okay. And then, a lot of people left me, right? Because they were like, oh, she doesn't do it for an exchange of something anymore. And then I really understood something very clearly, is that everything in business is energy. Yeah, a service you're giving, and energy always has to receive something back to be valued. And so, I thought at that moment, what, when I work hard as a lawyer, I get paid. Well, from this moment on, I'm a spiritual lawyer. I work with the spiritual laws. I don't work with the physical laws anymore. I work with the spiritual laws. And as a spiritual lawyer, I need to get paid. And so I set my space on, like, let's say 50 Belgian franc at that time. And I decided for myself, if I'm getting full in my agenda on that price, it means I need to double my price. And from that moment on, I have done that each time. So each time my agenda was full on a certain price, I would double my price. And let's say 60% of the people would continue and 40% would let go of me. And I was like, yeah, that means it's done. They don't have to follow me on my journey anymore. So I really, from that moment on, start doing that. And I each time said, you know what, this is spiritual law. I need to really receive. And then I came to America. It was really interesting to teach. And I started first close to San Francisco in a beautiful place, Mendocino. And so there people came to me and I had traveled. So people, some of them paid their ticket for the seminar, but some said, well, I'm an artist. Can I share with you my artwork? It's like I give you my artwork and can I get to your seminar? And I said to them, but look, this is an exchange. We'll exchange something, right? And I said, sorry, but I cannot go back to the airline. I cannot pay my taxi. I cannot pay my rented car, whatever it is, with your vase that you give me, even if it's perhaps the most beautiful vase or the beautiful art piece. I said, and it really got to me that exchange without money in between is actually part of the poverty consciousness. And that
Ooh, can we pause for a minute?
yes,
That is a major exchange without money in between is part of the poverty consciousness. And this is major because so many healers, helpers, and by the way, I'm blown away you were a lawyer before. I had no idea. I'm just learning so much. That's just so wild and funny. And I also love that you accepted the title. I now work with the spiritual laws, and so I need to be paid. I love this, that you cannot go pay your flight, the hotel with this, and that when there's an exchange of services or energy actually, and you don't put money in the middle of it, it's part of a poverty consciousness. Okay, continue on that,
yeah. And
please.
so, yeah, I know that was like a big aha moment for me explaining that to them. And then I said, well, they said, but we want to come tomorrow to the seminar. I said, well, you have an evening to sell your vase to come tomorrow. And then I said, but you use that, say to the universe, I want to come. And then all these miracles started happening with these people when they opened up to that. They got a call from a client, said, oh, I need very quickly a beautiful gift for my fiance. Do you have a vase? So, and they got money in because they opened up to the flow of money. And some of these artists were really struggling, right? And some of these healers were struggling. And the moment they start accepting that there's a value, and sometimes it's hard to put a value on it, but then I always say, like, ask others what the value is. If you don't know it yourself, ask what others would like to give you. And if they say, well, I want to give you $20, double it right away, because that is the real value. They always undervalue you, right? So double it right away. And then say to yourself, I am worth this. This is, I have put hours in it. Because remember, all the healers, all the coaches, they have studied. Yeah, they had put money down for seminars to study, for getting certification. And then, time, they put money down for all this, they put time in it. All that is not a traditional educational system, but it's still an educational road that they have gone through. And so all that, is really time for them, or a spiritual journey they have come till they got that they are healers. Anyhow, they put investment in it. When I ask healers, like, what can you please count everything up that you invested in your journey, right? And then they come to prices and they're like, oh, 5,000, 10,000. I said, well, when will you get that money back if you don't start charging?
That's amazing and so beautiful and really important. And there are a few other practical applications here, and that I want to say again, that or repeat that you said. And one is that if you don't know what your value or the value of your services, ask people, then double that number right away. Then get your agenda full, or your calendar, right? Full with clients at that price. When it's full, it's time to double again. And then, oh no, what if I'm going to lose clients? Well, they're not meant to go with you. The ones who are meant to go with you will come with you. And then when you get to full again, double again. And that's the way that you climb that energetic ladder, right?
Correct. But because I have now, super high-end clients that pay me a couple of thousands of dollars for 1 hour, right? So I can be now, I call it the Robin Hood effect. I can now have space and time to create videos, to create programs that are accessible online for people that cannot afford that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of free content from me online because I want that to be available. But the people that can afford me, they will always pay my value price. But sometimes I do online courses. And they're always super reasonable because I have people in 190 countries. So there are people from countries that can perhaps afford $1,000, but they can afford $100 or $200, something like this. So they still have me, but in a group session, right? And then the people that really want me, well, they will pay my one-to-one price. And I also have set up coaches. So if they can't work with me, there's always somebody that has studied for many years with me that can help them at a price that is reasonable for them. And, we always have people saying, like, I studied first all your YouTube videos, all the free information, and life turned around, and now I can pay you. And so this is, I believe in the Robin Hood effect. The top people pay me a lot, and then I can give more available for others.
Yeah, I agree with that so much. And it took me quite a while to to ask for higher ticket if I wasn't doing business coaching. Um, and I love, and you're right, then you have all this free creative space and availability so that you can give freely to everyone you want to give to. And a lot of the people that I know are entrepreneurs and healers and leaders. So this is still a really big topic. And I love hearing your perspective. And another thing about what you're saying is that, someone may go, oh, 2000 an hour for what are we going to do, for a healing session or whatever. But it's about all the years experience and the things that but it's not just about that. It's about, you have so many hours in your own day. So what makes it juicy, fun, and exciting for you to take and dedicate a piece of your life that you will not get back, right? So what is worth that to you? Because if you're not doing that, you could be on your way to Japan, right? Or you could be doing something else. So at this level, it's also valuing, okay, what am I doing with my life and my time, and making it
Correct.
a really mutual, juicy exchange. So
Yeah,
I love.
it's totally so true. And it's like, I work about 20 hours a week, right? So sometimes I stop working for a couple of weeks because, I have ongoing income streams. Yeah. So I don't have to work anymore if I don't want to, right? And that has become available because I have created so much online. I've created so much revenue from royalties so that I can just literally say, hey, if I want to do this, I do this, right? And meanwhile, I don't have time to um, give back. I'm on board of advisors of charities, and board of directors of many organizations that give back to the world. And I have space now and time, and these charities don't pay me because they don't have to pay me. I have a revenue created, so I have space to give back in so many other ways, and space and time to be with my family and to create something new, or to just live life, right? So but of course it took some time. I mean, I'm 26 years in the healing and self-help um, movement. I don't like to call it an industry, but a movement, right? And um, and I never thought that I would ever make a full living of this. That was not part of my focus, right? I did not create marketing, and I barely still market things. Um, because I do believe in very much organic and spiritual marketing myself, I like through meditation and clearing the energy, and then things come my way. So like The Secret, I mean, I didn't do any specific except spiritual work to get that attraction happening. But the whole point is there is also time for that. So I need time to meditate. I need time to connect, to send my light out, to heal the world. I mean, now I'm much more focused on doing work for the world and for humanity. And, that is, I have the time for that now.
Yes, awesome. Well, I have more questions for you, and the audience does as well. So I'm going to ask you one more, and then I'm going to read a couple questions because I know
Okay.
we're getting to the end. And Marie, wow, you're just such an amazing soul, and there's so much depth and wisdom and beauty here. And thank you so much for your generosity and being one of the forerunners in this movement, because I really believe the more healers, speakers, teachers, dancers, artists that are in their passion and their love, the better and happier and more prosperous our world is. So, how did you move from, and you have this law mind, but how did you move from, okay, all this money is coming in, but to creating and figuring out where you want to invest your wealth? So that, because Dr. Demartini said the same thing a couple days ago, that his investments actually pay him more than his work that he does now, but he does what he does because he loves it. So how did you then flex from lawyer to healer that was undervaluing to Oscar, huge transformational movie clients that are Oscars, to then going, okay, I want my freedom? So how did you do that, or what do you recommend for that?
Well, I think you need to look at the values that you have in life, right? So for me, my values are love, enlightenment, and impact. So when I would feel like, hey, there is enough for my lifestyle, right? There's enough for my family to move forward, because I have 3 children, and still a 17-year-old, that goes next year to college. So when I felt like there was enough, right, that I felt like, hey, that's reasonable, right? So then I start looking at where to invest in something, first of all, that I love myself, right? If there's no love for it, yeah, I could not do that. Love a product, or love a company, or love the people in it, yeah. Something that is uplifting for humanity, or enlightened. It can be a service, it can be, whatever it is, it will uplift something, right? And then it will create a bigger impact. And my contribution can be financially. I always try, when I work with investments, to be part of the advisory. I'm not somebody who invests in something that cannot be personally connected with it. I always try then to work with these companies, to support them in any way. I'm like, okay, if you need me in any form of way, I will, gladly be there for you. It's not that I'm telling them what they want me to do, but I'm offering that, my aspect, my love for the product or the service. And so that is how I chose to invest in. So I'm not like the traditional investor in stocks, or I really started always to work with startups, startups that really had these 3 values in it, and believing in it and helping them to go to the next level, and then see the revenue coming from there. So I'm not somebody that really invested in real estate. Interesting for a feng shui master, but I didn't do that because I have lived in so many countries in the last 26 years. I lived in 7 countries, And so for me, I felt like I was moving too much around. I mean, I have my own properties, that's one thing, right? But to really start, working in that field, I felt I was not the direction I wanted to go. But I love to work with, startup tech companies, and help them and support them. That's kind of where I always, or environmental products. That's kind of where I always loved to put my money.
Wonderful. So I love that you started with what are your values and what do you love, and that you look at things that you really actually you love, what they're up to, the people, the mission. You can be personally connected somehow. I also imagine you had it on a vision board somewhere that you would begin to see yourself as this person that's invested in places. And I love that you said once you felt, first you focused on your family and feeling comfortable, and then began to visualize, and I imagine I'm feeling and visualize, see, feel the overflow and being able to contribute in places that you love. And you like seeing things grow.
Yeah.
That's why I guess you do the startups, right?
Yeah.
And I wondered this too. Susan says, what are you going to do with your life and time? And also that she's a sole income earner for a family of 7. She's currently studying to become an attorney. And she says she was not born in the United States and found it very difficult to merge values of her heritage with American values. Her husband's a kidney transplant patient, and he cannot have earned income. So she's from a wealthy family and country, but that wealth has disappeared. She's always known how to make money, but she's surrounded by her family, and they're constantly creating a feeling of being a drain on her energy and efforts. She tries to create beauty everywhere, but then her husband says it's her fault when the house is a mess. And I hear like, boy, I'm doing all the working. What are you saying? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, that's not an easy place to be in, and I just want to respect that what you're doing and all the work you're doing for your family. And so, even if the people around you don't see it, always know for yourself what you're really doing, right? Because sometimes, and I'm sure the situation that your husband has doesn't put him in a good place, and he doesn't see it, but keep giving yourself the love, keep giving yourself the compliments, keep giving yourself the shoulder, so like taps on your shoulder like, hey, I'm doing good. Stay connected with what you're doing here with Adora, and know there is a community there to support you, right? And I can feel when I tune into her, how lonely she sometimes feels in this whole situation. But there are others that are really saying you can do it, move forward, and let go of the frustrations, and I'm sure you will find a way to get back where you come from. I totally believe that.
Yes, and I'm hearing some orange pillows in your space too.
Yeah.
Some joy. You deserve some joy. Yeah, throw them everywhere. Just kidding.
I love that.
Marie, this has been so amazing and so wonderful to be with you here. We're streaming live on Facebook, so I just went ahead and went to all of my audience on Facebook. The rest of the conference you've got to register for. It's free, richqueenseries.com. But they can go to mariediamond.com to get the free assessment. You put in your birthday and the gender, and then you'll get your success direction as well as the color. I'm excited to go get my color because I just got your app before and I don't know that it has my color. I'm super excited about that.
It does also on the app. You will see where your success direction is. There are actually, there are colors around it. Yeah. And so where your success direction is, the colors around it are connected with the colors that you need for success, but also the colors you need for health, relationship, and wisdom. So they go to the energy report because it explains it, but then also get your free Marie Diamond app.
Yeah, is it called the Marie Diamond app? I'm gonna
Yeah,
search.
it's called Marie Diamond app. So you just put in Marie Diamond and you will get to that app. And
Oh, yeah, I was looking for it in my phone, so I've got it.
yeah. So you will see that on the
Okay.
outside circle, there are colors. Yeah. So you're number 2. So your colors are warm yellows, kind of a magenta, right? These are actually really good colors for your success. But for relationship, for example, you need more like whites and opals and diamonds, actually. So sparkling.
Woo, diamonds are a girl's best friend, for what Madonna says. Oh, I like that color. Opals.
Yeah.
Wow. Where do I see that in here? So this is an app you can get, you guys. I got it.
Yeah, so in the circle around it, yeah.
Mhm.
But when you get your energy report, and then people can get the energy number book, that's a small amount to pay to get all the steps you have to do to, this is what I do for thousands of dollars, for my high-end clients. So there's a lot. Literally, that energy number book is like, I think, $16 or something. So something very to get really a lot of information, even not just for you, but also for your family to work with. But you get already so much information, I think 8 pages for free by filling in your energy report.
That's amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. And is there anything else you'd like to say before we let you
No,
go on with your
I want to
day?
thank you, Adora, for setting this up, for allowing people to come together around this beautiful topic. And I can't wait to see more of you. And I wish all the people that are there, all the love from my heart.
Awesome. And are you on Instagram? Can people find you on
So they can
Instagram?
go to Marie Diamond 8 with the number 8. The 8 stands for infinity, so it's the luckiest number in Feng Shui. And so they get every week videos and tips. So there's a lot going on there, also a lot of free information.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. So much love to you and appreciation. Thank you, Marie. You all do
Bye.
your fingers.
Thank you, Marie. Awesome, Adora.
Yay, you're so welcome, Rex. Let me stop the live stream on Facebook. There we go. And